So you're thinking about a career in data analytics, but you have no idea where to even start, right? Well, you're in the right place. We're about to lay out the exact roadmap you need, a step-by-step guide to take you from total beginner all the way to a job-ready professional. Let's dive in.
Okay, let's just cut right to the chase. What's this number all about? $90,815. That's the average total compensation for a data analyst in the US. And look, that's not just a nice paycheck. It's a huge flashing sign that these skills are valuable, like really valuable.
So why the big demand? It's simple. Everybody, and I mean everybody, from hospitals to banks to your favorite online store, they're all drowning in data. And they desperately need people who can make sense of it all to make smarter, critical decisions. That's where you come in.
Okay, so what is data analyst really? What do they actually do all day? Honestly, think of yourself as a data detective. Your whole mission, your quest, if you will, is to find the story that's hiding inside all those numbers. At its heart, the job is all about taking this mess of raw information and turning it into something useful. A lot of your day is going to be spent cleaning data, organizing it, and then translating it into insights people can actually do something with. You're the one who figures out the what and the why. You know, like, hey, why did our sales suddenly drop last month? That's a question for a data analyst.
Now, you've probably heard the term data scientist a lot, and it gets kind of confusing. So what's the difference? Well, think of it like this. A data analyst is like a historian. They look at past data, what's already happened, to explain why things are the way they are. A data scientist, on the other hand, is more like a fortune teller. They're building models to predict what's going to happen in the future.
All right, so if you're the data detective, you're going to need a toolkit, right? Every hero's got to have their gear. For an analyst, this means a solid set of tools and skills. Let's break down what you absolutely need in your utility belt.
Okay, so let's look at the big four. You've got Excel, which is kind of your Swiss Army knife for just digging in and exploring data. It's foundational. SQL, which is how you talk to databases to pull out the exact information you need. Python is your powerhouse for serious data cleaning and automation. And finally, you have tools like Tableau or Power BI. This is where the magic happens, where you create these awesome interactive dashboards that really bring your findings to life for everyone else.
But here's the thing, and this is so important. Just knowing the tools isn't enough. It's only half the battle. This quote right here nails it. The best analysts don't just crunch numbers, they tell stories. That's the real secret sauce.
And that's where the other half of your toolkit comes in, the stuff that isn't about code. We're talking about analytical thinking, which honestly is more about asking the right questions than just finding the answers. And communication, man, that is everything. You can have the most brilliant insight in the world, but if you can't explain it to someone who doesn't live and breathe data, it's useless. You have to be the translator, the bridge.
Okay, I know. This might sound like a lot. SQL, Python, storytelling. Maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed. Don't be. We're going to break this whole thing down into a super simple 3-phase roadmap. This is your step-by-step guide from zero to landing that job.
So here it is, your 3-phase plan. Phase 1 is all about building your foundation. You got to learn to walk before you can run, right? So we're talking basic concepts, getting really good at Excel. Then in Phase 2, you level up. You master the big guns, SQL, Python, and a visualization tool like Tableau. But Phase 3, that's the boss level. That's where you take everything you've learned and actually apply it. You solve real problems, build projects, and create a portfolio that screams, "Hire me!"
So you've put in the work, you've built your skills, you've got a few projects under your belt. Now what? It's time to actually land your first job. Let's talk about what hiring managers are really looking for.
So how do you stand out? I mean, it's a competitive market out there. How do you make sure your resume doesn't just end up at the bottom of the pile?
All right, here's exactly what you need to focus on. Number 1, a portfolio. This is not optional. You need 2 or 3 solid projects that show what you can do. It's your proof. 2, you got to show you can actually use the tools. We're talking hands-on skills with SQL, Python, and a visualization tool. 3, can you explain your work to someone who isn't a tech expert? They will absolutely test you on this in an interview. And lastly, get that LinkedIn profile polished. It should clearly list your tech skills and link directly to your amazing portfolio.
Okay, so you landed the job. Amazing. But guess what? The journey's not over. Not even close. Getting that first role is just the beginning. This is a field where you are always learning and growing.
And that's what's so cool about it. Once you're in the door, a ton of other doors open up. You could go deep into business intelligence, become an analytics consultant, or focus on a specific product as a product analyst. Heck, you could even use this as a springboard to become a data scientist or an ML engineer. Your skills as an analyst are basically a launchpad to wherever you want to go next.
The main thing to remember is this: the learning never, ever stops. It just evolves. This isn't one of those jobs where you learn it once and you're set for 30 years. The best analysts are always curious. They're playing with new tools, learning new techniques, and just generally staying on top of what's happening. The field is constantly changing, so you have to change with it.
So there you have it. That's the roadmap. We've covered everything from how much you can make to where your career can go in the long run. Your data journey officially starts right now. So the only real question is, what's your first step going to be?